Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a safe and wonderful holiday, and I hope 2026 is much better to you than 2025 was. Now, I was out of town for the past 2 weeks, so I missed the opening night of Anaconda, but I just got back from a screening of it a short while ago, and I wanted to share my thoughts and feelings with you guys about it, as this was one of my more anticipated films of the year of 2025, and it definitely paid off. So let's cut right to the chase, shall we? Oh, and before I go on, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you haven't seen Anaconda and you would still like to see it or watch it, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, I have been waiting for this movie for a very long time. It feels like it was first announced in January of 2020. Well, we all know what happened shortly after that. The world changed. And then for the longest time, we had no developments when this movie was first announced as being a remake, being written by a different screenwriter in January of 2020. And then we went for the super long time without hearing anything. And then in the summer of 2024, they announced that the Anaconda reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it. Well, it wasn't even a remake or a reboot. It was like a sort of sequel was happening with Jack Black and Paul Rudd taking the lead. And I was like, finally, after years of nothing, we finally have some movement, some traction on this film. We had a release date. Christmas Day, 2025. Great, awesome movie to see over the holidays besides Avatar, Fire and Ash. So this movie comes out on Christmas Day. I'm unable to see it because it's Christmas Day and I have plans with family. And I didn't get a chance to see it while I was back home with anybody. So I watched it now. And I gotta say, this was not the movie I was expecting, but I sure as shit enjoyed it all the same. You know, when they announced a sort of meta sequel, well, not even a sequel, but like a reimagining of Anaconda, but done in the most meta way possible, with self-references, poking fun at themselves, and, you know, being self-aware and shit like that. I was like, okay, not the direction I was expecting them to go in, but okay, I'm here for it. I love Jack Black. I love Paul Rudd. I hope there's a giant freaking snake, and I got all three of those things. So I was very content and quite happy with what we did get out of this movie. I wanted to see a giant snake eating a bunch of people, and we got that for the most part. Some of the kills were off screen, or we didn't actually see the eating of the people done by the snake done directly as such. It was more indirect, but it was still very cool and very satisfying to watch, and also quite funny. I thought they might have given away one of the best jokes in the movie in one of the trailers, but it turns out it was like probably the funniest scene in the movie, as it got the biggest reaction in theaters because we were all laughing our asses off. And I also love the fact that they played the original theme music from Anaconda during this scene, and that's when Paul Rudd's character accidentally kills the snake that they are making their own movie for. And it was so funny, but so sad at the same time, but mostly funny. And then having the original score from the original Anaconda play, icing on the cake. I loved that. I absolutely loved it. Oh my God, the cameos. I was not expecting Ice Cube or J-Lo. Well, Ice Cube's role was revealed in like the final trailer that dropped a few weeks ago. So I don't know if they necessarily ruined that for us. I personally didn't look at it that way. I was like, oh, cool, Ice Cube's in it, playing himself, like a meta version of himself. That's pretty funny. I didn't expect J-Lo at all to be anywhere near this movie. But her appearance at the very end, recruiting Jack Black's character to direct the actual Anaconda remake, was pretty damn cool and pretty damn meta and funny. And then when it wasn't being funny, it was kind of a survival thriller story with a very, very humorous twist or touched flavoring to it. I also like the twist where Daniela Melchior's character, did I say her name right? Melchior? The chick from the Suicide Squad. I thought it was cool how it revealed she was actually the villain the whole time. We think she's this innocent girl on the run from some illegal gold miners, but it turns out she's actually being pursued by the Brazilian authorities, and she's the one who's in trouble with the law. But of course, we didn't have to worry about her for very long because she got gobbled up by the snake like that. The snake looked tremendous and awesome. I loved that it was so much bigger than the original snake. It was a beautiful beast to behold, and I was very, very pleased with the amount of screen time that it got. I love that the majority of the third act of the film was focused primarily on the snake and escaping and defeating the snake, with some help from Ice Cube, of course, which was hilarious. I love Paul Rudd yelling out for J-Lo, Ice Cube. John Voight, are you in this? As he's looking at surveying the wreckage of the Anaconda reboot crew, boats and whatnot. So that was pretty damn funny. Yeah, and the movie had a really strong sense of friendship to it. Like, you really believed these four were good childhood friends. And the movie did a good job selling us on that factoid. And I appreciate that because it made following the characters all the more likable. And another thing I think I enjoyed about this film is that it's so meta and it's like a movie within a movie. It's very similar to the Scream franchise, which I also love, and another action comedy also starring Jack Black, Tropic Thunder. And Tropic Thunder was meta as hell too when you think about it. So the fact that they went the meta route with this Anaconda film, so it wasn't quite a sequel, and it was obviously not a remake, but more of a reimagining, was pretty damn funny and clever, creative in my book. And everybody did a great job. Steve Zahn, Thandie Newton, the snake handler guy was funny as hell. Jack Black, Paul Rudd were obviously highlights. Daniela Melchior was great as well, too. And, of course, hats off to the snake, the big CGI snake, for being the real star, the MVP of this film. So hats off to you. But yeah, overall, I had fun. I had fun watching it. It made me laugh. It was very satisfying to watch. I'm so glad this movie has finally come out after 5 long years of waiting, and it feels like it paid off. I just wanted to see a film with a giant snake terrorizing and going after a group of people in the jungle, and that's exactly what we got. It was just pretty damn funny along the way, which I wasn't expecting, but I welcome it all the same because I ended up really enjoying it. I may have to see this film a couple more times, actually. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Anaconda as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night and a happy new year. I hope your weekend goes well for you if I don't see you. Anaconda is now playing in theaters. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. And of course, until next time, may the force be with you.